Okay, hello, welcome back to Farmbiz with Markay. Now today we are at day 10 since we stocked this our Cobb 500, raising it organically from since day 1. Now the mortality we've had so far was the mortality we had at day 4, day 5, just one. That is out of 204 that we stock, we still have about 203 left, and they are all doing well. Now, what have we done today? If you observe the pen right now, we don't have anything like tray feeder here anymore. We've removed it. That's because they've already served their purpose. Now, they've grown to the size that won't be that tray feeder will not be really necessary for them to be eating from, because the rate at which they now spread sawdust in that tray feeder is much. So there is need for us to remove it totally from the pen. Now we also expanded the brooder a bit today, because each day I observed that their size is getting increased, and I observed that the pen is gradually getting smaller for them. What I do, I shift this partition that I used to demarcate other side of the pen, so I move it backward a little. So when I observe that the space is okay for them, I leave it there, then ensure that they don't go outside this partition that I created for them. So that's how I manage the space until I observe that, okay, they are now free to move around the whole pen. Then will now leave the whole pen for them, because my pen can comfortably take about 250 birds in maturity. But that doesn't mean we should just leave the whole pen for them to be roaming up and down. No, we don't want to do that. So that's the essence of this partition that we are creating for them right from the one that we separated the brooder from the other side of the pen. Now when you observe also, we included some kind of feeder. This is the bigger feeder that the matured bird eat from. We included it at this day 10. So as at late yesterday, day 9, what I did, I put in like 1 or 2. Then put some feed in there. So when I discovered that they were comfortably eating from it, so they weren't finding it difficult eating from that feeder. So I decided to include them, because normally from my past experience, at day 10, day 11, day 9, that's when I normally replace those tray feeder with this bigger tube feeder. Now you observe also that this other smaller tube feeder that we included some days back, they are eating from it seriously. But though it's a bit getting smaller for them, in about few days from now we'll be removing it totally from the pen, and then replacing it with some other bigger feeder that they'll be eating from since till we dispose them. Now you wonder, why haven't we raised the feeders all above the floor, as in using this rope adjuster? Now it's not yet time, because if we decide to lift it up a bit, their beak won't get to the feet to pick the feet from. So we'll still leave it on the floor. In about I think before week 3 or at day 21 max, we will now lift it up the floor a bit, so that they won't spray much sawdust in the feed. So that's how we manage the feeder. Now this also, because the feeder and the drinker, they are not the same, because the way they drink, they don't really need to go deep, because when you observe this one, I lifted this off the floor a bit, this bird drinker, and they are still okay drinking from it at that level. Now when they grow older, I lift it up a bit. In that way, the rate at which they spread sawdust in the drinker is reduced. So that's the purpose of using this adjuster rope, to really adjust the height of the drinker. Is very important. So we also do the same to the nipple drinkers. When we observe that is too low for them because they are growing, so we lift it up a little until we observe that it's okay for them, then we leave it. So that's how we manage it. Now the litter that I replaced at day 8 to I think about day 8 is getting messed up already. We are already at day 10. That's about 2 days plus that we replace this litter. Is a bit getting messed up, because the rate at which they mess up the pen is higher when as they grow. So it's expected of it. So we should be prepared for it since day 1. So what we will be doing, I may not wait until 7 days, because in about day 14 or day 13, day 14, it's very likely I'm going to replace this whole sawdust again, and then put another one, because I went to get some other ones today to to use, in addition to the ones I already had left from the one I brought to start my brooding. So this is very important because you don't need to joke with these liters. Changing the liters, you don't need to joke with it, because if you leave it too much, the ammonia level in this pen is going to be built up to the extent that when you enter, you feel some pepperish sign in your eyes. That's to tell you the level of the ammonia. So that's the purpose of ensuring that the whole place is well ventilated. Very, very important. So and apart from that, apart from ammonia built up in your pen, the risk of coccidiosis is increased because they are matching their poo every day. So you need to change the litter as often as possible. And at the same time, if where you are living is closer to where you are raising these birds, or people are living closer to where you are raising these birds, in order to avoid problem, you must ensure you change the litters maybe weekly, depending on how often they mess up the litters. So you must ensure you change it as often as possible in order to prevent that odor that might be experienced while raising this bird. Because where I'm raising these birds right now is my compound. There is no single odor. There is no single odor. This is because before it gets to the point that flies will be flying into the pen, I've already replaced the litter. So that is how we manage our litters. This is very important. And also, these bird drinkers on a daily basis, like I said, you need to wash it. I've washed it in the morning. Before now, you can see some feed, because as they drink, the leftover feed in their mouth gets into the drinker. So if I leave it there so much, the water in here will be foul. It won't be pleasant for them. So that is why on a regular basis we wash it so that fresh water can flow in. So that's what we do. We are day 10 today. We've not had any mortality since day 4, day 5. So they've all been doing well. And these birds are still on antiviral medication. Remember, we are giving it for 3 days. By day 11, which is tomorrow, by the end of that day 11 tomorrow, we are going to be through with this antiviral treatment, depending on when next we are going to have it again. Then we'll move to the next form of medication. That should be anti-coccidiosis, if I'm right. That's according to my medication chart. I promised I was going to give out this medication chart. I'm still working on it. I'm going to post it so that anyone can have access to it and then make use of it. So this is where we are today. The birds are really doing well, and I'm happy about this. So by day 35, like I said, we are going to be disposing of some of these birds. Then the ones that will be left will raise it till Christmas. That is till about 8 weeks. But however, if I observe that the request from some of my customers is still that bigger size of chicken, I may likely raise them to that 8 weeks. If I do my calculation and observe that, okay, by that time the amount I'm likely to put and the customers will pay, definitely I will raise it to that end. Otherwise, I'll be disposing of everything by day 35 or between day 35 and day 42. Thank you so very much. If you find this video helpful, kindly do well to hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification icon, like and comment in the comment section below, as this will do a whole lot for us in helping us to grow our channel and reach a larger audience. Thank you so very much. I love you.